welcome back. Here we go. We're going to try one more conversion down here at the bottom of the journal using the staircase, and then we're going to turn the page and do some other work. So let's go ahead and try this one. I'm just going to move it over here since, well, let's do it right here. Let's do 72 centiliters equals how many liters? So I want you to think about this for just a little bit. You would find centiliters, which is right here on the C. You're going to be moving up the staircase to get to liters, or moving backwards, right? You're moving the decimal backwards. How many times? Well, until you reach the L step. How do I know the L step? Because that's what it's asking for. So centi, you're going to go backwards 1, 2 spots. Where's the decimal on 72 right now? It's at the end. And I'm going to go backwards 2 spots. So going backwards 2 spots, or 2 place values. So it goes 1, 2. I think using the blue would be good there. And it's just right there in front. So it's 0.72 and throw in a 0. All right, I want you to go ahead and turn the page. Now what I'd like you to do is to open up your workbook. Also leave your journal out, but open up your workbook and find page 337. 337. Everybody, well, actually you can pause the video and hurry and get it out. Do not rip it out. I ripped mine out because it's easier to work with on the camera, but you don't need to rip it out. Here is what you need to complete on your own after we get through with the journal. You're going to need to do numbers 1 through 12 in your workbook on your own. And it's just simply using the staircase. You can look at their chart if you would like to. Excuse me. You can look at their chart if you would like to, but you don't have to. You can just draw a simple staircase, and that should be just fine. So I would do that real quick, just so that you have it ready and available to you. So maybe just right here on the right, I would draw the staircase. Remember, you need 7 steps. These ones are going to be a little more steep because I don't have a lot of space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Kilo, hecto, deca. In this case, it's liters. Deci, centi, milli. Remember, kiloliter, hectoliter, decaliter, liter, deciliter, centiliter, milliliter. That's how you'll work with that staircase. So that's how you're going to do page 337. But go ahead right now and flip the page over to 338. Remember to keep this in your book. You shouldn't be ripping it out yet. Hopefully you caught that word, yet. These are pretty difficult story problems, but I know on your homework and remembering there are some really difficult ones, so it's not bad for us to give these a try. I think we should start with one of the hardest ones actually, and then we'll end with an easier one. That might be a little more enjoyable. Let's start with number, let me see, which one I want to do here. Let's start with number 16, the one that talks about Kelly, number 16. It says, Kelly is using a bucket to fill up a barrel with water from a well. The barrel holds 25.5 liters. That seems like that's going to be important. Keep your blue out so that you can highlight. The bucket holds 800 milliliters. That's another important number. Plus, you can notice that I'm circling the unit measurement with it. That's important. 25.5 liters. The bucket holds 800 milliliters. The barrel already has 5.2 liters of water in it. 5.2 liters already. What is the least number of buckets needed to fill the barrel? So it's like taking a little mini bucket and we're filling a barrel. So why don't you just draw like, here's a little mini bucket and we're filling a big barrel. That's what they're saying, is they're filling these up and they're dumping them in here. And what they're saying is that this one already has some water in it. It already has 5.2 liters. Maybe quickly draw that. Sorry, Ms. Fisher still has a sore throat, so my bad on the coughing. Okay. See, but aren't you glad you're not here getting coughed on and things like that? It's good to stay home and stay healthy. I hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, that's just like a normal math lesson where Ms. Fisher gets distracted and makes random comments. I hope you're enjoying that. All right. We know that the barrel, at the very top of the barrel, it'll hold 25.5. So they're asking how many more buckets of these little tiny buckets do you need to fill this barrel? I think one of the first things to do in this problem, when you're problem solving, is to first figure out what's missing. How much is actually missing from there? And then we'll kind of go through, go through how to fill it back up. But let's figure out what is missing inside of there. So maybe we can use the blue here to go, how much water do we still need to fill that? So this is a quick subtraction problem because they're both in liters. This holds 25.5. I already have 5.2 liters. So this is a button man subtraction problem. Too bad we don't have Bennett here. Maybe Bennett can do this at home. He can stand up and march, but it's do you know the button man, the button man, the button man? Do you know the button man? He lines the decimals up. Please make sure you got 3 decimals right there lined up. And then do subtraction. 5 minus 2 is 3. 5 minus 5 is 0. You're not done. 2 minus nothing is 2. So we're missing 20.3 liters. That's what we're missing inside of there. Okay? What we need to know is how many of these little tiny buckets do we need to fill in order to fill that. So let's come back over here to the bucket. It says the bucket holds 800 milliliters. If you just read that as 800 liters, that does not make any sense. So you need to really think through. It's little teeny tiny milliliters. So inside of here, it holds 800 milliliters. That's little tiny drops. 800 milliliters. And I want to know how many buckets to fill that. But you have to look at this. I have one measurement in milliliters and one measurement in liters. So I have to convert both of these to the same thing. And in this situation, I think it would be best to deal with liters because converting this one to milliliters is going to make this change into like thousands. So let's go ahead and convert 800 milliliters into liters. Let's figure out how many liters is 800 milliliters. Okay, this is just a basic conversion. So really quickly down here, draw the staircase. No idea if I drew enough. King Henry doesn't usually. This is liters. Drink chocolate milk. I did it. Go me. Okay. Quickly draw your staircase. Again, you can always pause this video if you need more time to draw it. But we're going to move on. I have 800 milliliters. So down here, I have 800. And they're asking me to move up to liters. So I'm going up the staircase 1, 2, 3 times. Remember, I'm moving the decimal then, going backwards. Because I'm going up the stairs to the left. 1, 2, 3. So it's 0.8 liters. So that makes a little more sense. This bucket holds 0.8, so not even a whole liter. How many more times do I have to fill the barrel? So I've got 2 different measurements now. I have 0.8 liters and 20.3 liters. What do you think is the best way to go about figuring this out? I need 20.3 and each bucket is 0.8. Could I just keep subtracting 0.8 from here? Or add this together until I get to 20.3? Yes, that would take a lot of time. So if you're thinking in your head right now, the best way to figure this out is through, I'll show you the symbol. Hopefully you're knowing it in your head. If not, you're going to find out. Is through what? Division. I'm going to take this dividend and divide it by that divisor, and it should tell me how many buckets I need to fill the barrel. Okay? So again, this is a hard problem. We knew it would be difficult. Don't panic. You ready? Let's come up here. We're going to do the work up here for it. 20.3 divided by 0.8. 20.3 divided by 0.8. That's how you would do this. 20.3 divided by 0.8. Now, they're testing again if you remember how to do division with decimals. Don't panic. You got this. If there's a decimal in the divisor, that's the very first thing your eyes should check is the decimal over here. And yep, it has one. So to get rid of it, I move it once by timesing it by 10. If I times that by 10, what do I get? I get 8. But whatever I do to the divisor, I have to do the dividend. So I times that by 10, which means I have to times this one by 10, and that moved the decimal one place over here, or straight up because it would be at the end, so straight up. So I have 203 now inside with the decimal at the end of 3 up there. Make sense? Hopefully it does. Let's go ahead and continue now with basic division. 8 doesn't go into 2, but 8 will go into 20 twice. That'll be 16. That's 4. Bring down the 3. It's not pretty. That's okay. 8 goes into 43 5 times. And I have a 3 down here. In this case, I could drop down a 0, right? But just right now, I already know if I were to do that, I'll do this and erase it. You don't have to do this. If I were to do that, I know that 8 doesn't go into 30 perfectly. So that's not my favorite idea. So I would look at the story problem again, or I would decide, can I just leave it as a remainder? 25 remainder 3. Can I switch it to a fraction? 25 and 3/8. Let's go back to, so I'm going to go kind of circle the 25 and circle the 3 and the 8, just so I kind of remember what's going on. I have 3 left over, but I need 25 of these buckets, but then I have 3 left over. So I need 25, I would do it as a fraction, 25 and 3/8 is how I would do that. So I'd come over here, and it says on the story problem question, this is why this is important to read this. What is the least number of buckets needed to fill the barrel? Well, if I did only 25 buckets, I wouldn't quite fill it because I still had some of this. So I need more than 25 buckets, and I can't get 3/8 of a bucket. So really, what I have to do here is make one extra trip with the bucket, right? We've talked about that before, and it's 26. So I come back to the story problem, and I say, what is the least number of buckets needed to fill the barrel? The least number of buckets, practicing our rephrasing skills, the least number of buckets needed is 26. I know that seems like a really difficult problem, and if you hung in there that long, congratulations. We're going to go ahead and stop this video, and you can start the next one whenever you're ready. We're still not done.